when I was a kid, me and my sister would go to this place for the meetings of my dad's job. Now, we didn't attend, we were just hanging out, and there's a side door that you're looking at, and I was a teenager. I don't know how old my sister was, and on the other side of that door, there's a platform. All right. Now that platform on the left, if you went there, you had to go upstairs. If you went to the left, you went to the front door, and outside of it were stairs. But if you went to the right, on top, then you would likely go into a courtroom-like place. Now, it wasn't a court or anything. I don't think it was. It does look like a court, but it's not a court. But if you went to the right downstairs, then your only options were women's bathroom to the left and men's bathroom to the right in front of you. Very thin walls, they're very similar. But if you went to the left, there's this door with a vent, and I've been through there, and it was old stuff. But if you went to the right, you went into a lobby. It was like a break room, and it had former offices and this bar near vending machine like refrigerator, but one you can see through. And every time we were there, we went up, and we were there for like 15 minutes, and then me and my sister would just explore. We would go down the stairs, and we would be near the bathrooms, and we would look for something. We looked at sugar packets, some packets of salt, packets of pepper, straws, and other stuff. And there was a notepad and maybe a pen underneath. And the only thing that vibrated was that thing I was talking about, that refrigerator. So the refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. So sometimes I think we took snacks, from home. And sometimes we would just walk down this break room. So in the break room, at the end, there is a hallway. Now, we saw these empty offices. They were actually, the doors were old, they were half open, and yard signs, they were sticking out. And at the very end, near the exit, we saw this staircase, and there were two ways. One was behind a door, and we went to the other, and they were locked on both sides. And they had keyholes, and we could see through that thing, and I heard my dad talking, and, there was pizza, and, sometimes we would just walk around, and then we would go back up the stairs. And sometimes I would go to that thing with chalk and just draw a picture and erase it. And some of my dad's friends were like, oh, hey, and we had 4 of those chairs. And I don't mean the plastic ones that fold, the tables. These ones were only the seat and the back were made of wood. And everything else was made of cold metal. And I remember watching TV later as a result in one of those chairs, and one of them was loose, so I switched 2 of the chairs. The legs were green, not brown. Those ones I didn't sit on. And every time I went to one of those meetings, I got tired of it, Okay, I just walk up here, sit down, listen to some things, just ignore it, try to look out the windows. And then we would just go over. And when I say over, I mean we went everywhere. Like, we didn't leave, no. There were times when we did sometimes. I remember one time, after one of these meetings, now, I don't know if my sister was there with me at that time. So I think it was almost, 7:30. This is at night. I was done drinking something, and I wanted to get some gummy lifesavers. So I went in, in the blue basket, and at night, yeah, it was when they had the phone booth, and I was there for a few minutes, and then I just paid. I went I went in the truck, and then when I was in the truck, my dad we drove home, and then about an hour later, I was eating half of these things. And I'm like, what flavors are these? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'll check on the back. And I'm like, oh, and I had a flashlight. And I'm like, I can't tell the difference between this and that. And the green ones I didn't eat. So sometime later, I was done watching something, and then I went to bed. And, it's very interesting how it is, Your dad lets you do something, and you get a treat. Isn't that nice? Yeah, it was.